I'd squeal see it, yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to say a huge thank you to the Nanaimo Foundation and to every single supporter who has donated to the Nanaimo Foundation this past year.
We're very, very grateful that during this very difficult time of the pandemic, the community was there to support us.
A big thank you to Nanaimo Foundation. We received money from the Community Response Fund and the Emergency Community Support Fund, and what a difference that's made.
I want to thank the Nanaimo Foundation and the Community Support Fund for the $34,200 we received in July.
Thank you so much to the Nanaimo Foundation for helping support household food security on Gabriola Island.
Thanks to the Nanaimo Foundation, Vancouver Island Regional Library was able to provide digital care packages to more than 700 individuals through the Rural Connects initiative.
Thanks to the donors of the Nanaimo Community Response Fund, our organization was able to move our hospital peer support program online.
Your donation to the Nanaimo Community Foundation enabled us to provide food hampers, gift cards and activity kits to our families in need during COVID.
With the support of our amazing staff, volunteers, and our generous funders, including the Nanaimo Foundation, we were able to distribute over 20,000 good food boxes to Nanaimo and the surrounding community over the last year. That's over 240,000 pounds of food.
Thank you doesn't capture how grateful we are for the support of the Nanaimo Foundation, the Community Response Fund, and all of the donors who have contributed to our Food for Schools program, feeding hungry children across the district.
Thanks to you, we've been able to support over 500 families, including children, adults, and seniors, and have helped them to feel connected and like there is a blanket of support around each and every one of them.
We really saw how during COVID our clients were becoming really isolated, and so receiving the money that we did really helped. We received a couple of different grants, and one of them was money to buy technology and also arts and crafts supplies provided for people who are stuck and in a place where they don't see hope. Just those little things, they really provided hope.
With the funds from the Nanaimo Foundation, we've been able to provide groceries such as these to some of our community members, as well as healthy meals. COVID-19 has definitely shown that there's a high need for these kinds of supports in our community. So being able to provide groceries that can be picked up, as well as delivered by volunteers, has been a huge help.
This year was a tough year at our school. We experienced a lot of heartbreak and hardship with the pandemic and with the engagement of students, and quite frankly last spring we didn't know how the community was going to respond to coming back to school, to re-engaging with other families. And so we had this vision of reconnecting and re-engaging learners, and that required some of the funding that you guys came through for us, and through the relief funding we've found ways to create a space of belonging for every child that wanted to be here.
This was instrumental in helping us to increase our staffing capacity on the crisis line, as our volunteer pool was disappearing due to COVID restrictions. I just want to let you know what this money did for us. Last year we answered 43,000 calls, chats, and texts. That was a 9% increase from the previous year. 10% of those calls had to do with COVID, were COVID related. We did 336 interventions to 911, 2,183 calls to mental health crisis services, which saved lives.
In total, the project provided 25 laptops, 15 streaming devices, and 14 smart TVs to residential care facilities, crisis care centers, halfway houses, and 2 drop-in youth centers. We helped seniors stay connected, we helped students complete their schooling, we bridged gaps and brought people closer.
We were able to buy iPads that we distributed to the social workers at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital, who then were able to connect isolated patients with family, friends, and our peer support workers. This has been incredibly important for patients who aren't able to see family and friends due to visitor restrictions at the hospital because of COVID.
We were able to, through this donation, upgrade our information systems, our computers, and provided an ability for our clients to reach us during a very vulnerable time in our history during the first wave of the pandemic.
We were able to provide a hamper program to feed approximately 1,200 students throughout the pandemic. Between March and September, there were approximately 10,000 food hampers that were built and provided to students from Ladysmith to Lanceville and everywhere in between.
Over the past year, with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen now more than ever that food security is essential in our community. As people were laid off from work and were staying at home, they needed fresh fruits and vegetables now more than ever.
Let me tell you about one family that we provided a Christmas hamper to. One of our young mums came to pick up her kids from our daycare, and she was just chatting to the staff, telling them how she really couldn't afford to go and buy a good Christmas dinner, and because she was really struggling to pay her bills. But we already had a hamper ready for her due to the funding that we received from the Nanaimo Community Foundation. Everything she needed for her Christmas Day dinner was in a box, along with a gift card to allow her to supplement it to make sure that she met the needs of her family. She turned round and was handed this box by the staff member, and she burst into tears. She had no idea that we were going to provide that to her. So this is just one example of the impact that your dollars have had on the many, many families that we serve here at Boys and Girls Club. So on behalf of our families, thank you so much for your donation.
So what a difference that makes, and thanks to the donors of the Nanaimo Foundation.
And we did it with the generous support of the Nanaimo Foundation.
We're so grateful for the support of the Nanaimo Foundation.
We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you once again.
We truly couldn't do what we do without the generosity of all of you who have helped make this happen.
Thank you, friends. Nanaimo, Squalaqua, our friends and family in Nanaimo. You've truly blessed us, and we will be grateful. So thank you so much to the donors, to the executive, and all of those that have supported us through this difficult but much better year because of our partnership together.
Your donations and support has made a difference.
Thank you for helping us help others.